County. This is the Maricopa County's election tabulation center. And the same thing is happening here in 2022 as it did in 2020. And people are absolutely fed up with how this county is running their elections.
I saw your report over the weekend. One gentleman pointed out that instead of counting the votes at the local precinct level, they have different names for that in different countries. A district could be broken up into 100 or more precincts. In Canada, that's called a poll. And there might only be a couple hundred votes for each precinct or each poll. And those traditionally are counted by the people there, scrutinized there. They never leave the room. They never leave what's called the chain of custody. You have scrutineers watching it. It's counted that night because you're not counting a million votes. You're just counting a few hundred or maybe 1,000 in your little poll area, your little precinct, and you phone in the results. But I saw one fella say that each ballot in that tabulation center has been handled by 6 different people. And here it is a week later. Who knows what's happened inside that building in the last week?
Right. It's like law enforcement, when they have evidence, they tell no one to touch anything because the chain of custody gets disrupted. And that is what's happening here. After you vote, all of the votes get shipped to this Maricopa County tabulation center. But not just that, they are also contracting services out from other printing centers where they're also feeding through the ballots and counting the ballots there and then loading whatever they find after they tabulate the ballots on Penske trucks, which are then also getting shipped to Maricopa County. So I don't think that you can even investigate the chain of command at this point. It's just too many people.
It's very interesting because, of course, none of that is proof that tampering or vote rigging is happening, but all of it is opportunities for vote rigging to happen. And every day of delay makes it more suspicious. I mean, mighty states like Texas and Florida, well, heck, even California and New York counted their ballots the night of. It's called election day, not election week or election month or election season. I don't know. I find it, if I was an Arizonan, I would be embarrassed and I would say this looks terrible. But the local officials just keep smiling and saying, yeah, sorry, but this is how it is. What's the mood out there? Is everyone in on it? Like I guess if you're a Democrat, you sort of nudge, wink, wink. Oh, I know what's going on. No problem. Is it only Republicans who are upset by this? Or are other Democrats saying, whoa, this is not the way to run a democracy in 2022?
No, I've yet to hear Democrats say anything negative about how Maricopa County is running their elections. There has been protests outside of the center, and one is going to be happening soon, which is why I'm out here on the ground right now. But the Republicans are angry. They are infuriated and they feel disenfranchised. When they showed up to the polls on Tuesday, they were told that the machines were down, and the machines were malfunctioning in more than 26 locations, not just across the state, but in Maricopa County. 26 polling locations in Maricopa County had issues with their machines that day. And when lawyers went before a judge and requested polling stations to stay open later so people could vote, they turned that down. So they have been showing up sporadically outside the Maricopa County Election Center to make their voices heard because they have had it with how they're running the elections. And mind you, the protesters that are showing up, they have remained peaceful. Mainstream media wants there to be another January 6th moment. That is not going to be happening here in Maricopa County because they are just inching for that to happen. But the protesters that have shown up have remained peaceful. They are just stating that they don't agree with how the election is being handled. It's an absolute joke that we are approaching a week. Tomorrow it will be 1 week. And there are still over 100,000 ballots left to be counted. Absolute incompetence happening here in Maricopa County.
What you just saw was an excerpt from my nightly show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every weekday, I do a monologue. Usually it's about half an hour. Then I interview an interesting guest, and then we read my hate mail or my fan mail, whichever is more fun. It's only available behind a paywall, though. That's how we pay our bills here at Rebel News. We don't take a dime from Justin Trudeau. But the good news is it's only $8 a month, about half the price of Netflix. And in addition to my nightly show, You also get weekly shows from 4 other friends here at Rebel News. So you're getting 36 shows a month just for $8. I think it's worth it. And even if you're not quite sure, do it anyways, because we rely on viewers like you to keep us free and independent. I promise you I'll never take a dime from Trudeau. Just go to rebelnewsplus.com and click subscribe. Thanks.